Good evening and welcome to Omnibroslive on March 1st, 2018. I am your host, OmniDog, joined by my co-host from near mint condition, Omar. Omar, how's it going?
It's going good, man. I love the way you say my name. I guess I could take this off now.
He's from near mint condition.
Thank you. Thank you for introducing me.
That's right, Omar. And if you wanted to get all your trades at 50% off or up to 50% off, and if you wanted to find a place that you could spend $50 or more and get free shipping on those books in the United States, a place with a loyalty discount, a place with fabulous customer service, a place with bomb-proof packaging, where would you go?
I would go to www.instocktrades.com because that's where I have been going for the last probably 15 years. They've been having money from me, so that's my go-to place.
That's my go-to place too, and a sponsor of this show,
and a wonderful sponsor of this show.
Yeah, that's right.
So today we're going to talk about a lot of the solicits that we've been fishing for a while. We didn't get the Hachette. How do you say it?
Hachette catalog.
Sure. Yeah, we didn't see that, but with a combination of like the Marvel Masterworks side and the guys from the Facebook group, we were able to compile this wonderful list of upcoming DC releases. Keeping our fingers crossed that DC does not cancel any of these. Because DC has always been notorious, as we will talk about here on the list, for canceling some books in the past. So we will see.
Aquaman.
When is Omar going to show us his in-stock trades tramp stamp?
And then Shorty says, gross.
It's not back there. Let's see. So you want to talk about some DC books then? We got some DC books coming up that we're very excited for.
Let's jump right into it.
I am
click your box as soon as I see that list up, right?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I'm going to share my screen. This always works. This never fails.
Okay. There we are.
We're on the list. All right. Excellent. So now you can see. So very first thing we got here on the list is American Vampire Omnibus Volume 1. And who broke the news to us that this was coming out? It wasn't the web. It wasn't the internet. It was Gabe. Remember?
Oh, that's right.
A couple months ago, he had talked to Scott Snyder. He was doing a signing at Torpedo Comics. And Scott Snyder let it slip that there was an American Vampire Omnibus coming out. And guess what? A couple months later, it's here. So this collects issues 1 through 27, Survival of the Fittest 1 through 5, and Lord of Nightmares 1 through 5.
That's awesome.
I don't know enough about American Vampire to know if that's the complete series. I don't even know if it's over. But if you want to keep an eye on the chat, maybe somebody in the chat would know. But that's
I know it's not. It's got 8 standard hardcovers. So
what is it? So what is the series over though?
I don't know. I actually haven't read Volume 8 yet.
Okay.
Let me see if it says The End.
Well, the end doesn't really matter anyway. So the next book, while Jess is searching, is Red Hood and the Outlaws by Scott Lobdell on Volume 1. Now,
nobody asked for.
Well, here's the thing, though. Even if you don't like this book, I gotta give him props, man. That is like one of the most long, running books that creator has been on. Scott Lobdell has been on this book since issue 1 of Red Hood and the Outlaws, and now he's still writing the book because I know it's one of your favorites now, isn't it?
It is. The Rebirth one is definitely my favorite. It's like my favorite Rebirth book, next to Harley Quinn and No, I think it's my favorite.
Really? Okay.
Yeah.
So Red Hood and the Outlaws. This is the new 52 stuff. This collects 0 through 27, Annual 1, Teen Titans 16, and Batman 17. Batman 17, that's part of the Death of the Family crossover, and I assume the Teen Titans book is one of the crossovers because he was also writing the book at the time. So what did you find out about American Vampire?
Well, Volume 8 is American Vampire second cycle, 6 through 11. So that is I'd have to go through all my American Vampire books to see.
So what you're saying, this is not over?
No.
There's going to be a volume 2. Okay.
At least.
Fair enough.
At least a volume 2.
And here you go, Jess. Here's another Wonder Woman. By the way, these are the items that I wrote down here are the ones that were just announced in the last couple days, not the ones that were previously announced. So keep that in mind. This is Wonder Woman Golden Age Volume 3. Is this you? This is you, right? You love you some Wonder Woman.
Oh, yeah. Even old Wonder Woman, yeah.
Oh, this is old Wonder Woman.
Yes,
this collects Sensation Comics 49 through 69, Wonder Woman 16 through 25, and Comics Cavalcade 14 through 22. And holy crap, that's a lot of books. Were the books like really small back then? Because it's 20.
Well, her features in those books, she would have a feature, and then they would pile in extra stuff. Like Comics Cavalcade would feature a story by her. Not by her, a story of her, of Flash, of Green Lantern.
Oh, okay.
Then,
so
all three of them together, or something like
Marvel
that.
Comics presents. I got you. I got
you. And so Wonder Woman, I would say Wonder Woman may be complete stories in that, but then I know Comics Cavalcade was more of an anthology.
Hold on, is Gabe in here? Oh, he's in the chat.
He's
Sorry,
in the chat.
Okay. So this is the big one. This is the big one. This is the one I didn't see coming because I really thought we were going to get an omnibus, but this is Absolute Swamp Thing Volume 1 by Alan Moore. And this collects the Saga of Swamp Thing 20 to 34 and Swamp Thing Annual 2. The big news is that it's got brand new coloring. If they do it in the style of Sandman, that is going to make me really happy.
Yeah, that made me buy that because I was looking at my standard hardcovers and I'm like, the art's okay. Color's kind of muddy, but they brighten that thing up, and I believe I will be buying that.
Now, this collects the first 2 hardcovers or the first 2 trade paperbacks, so I assume there's going to be a total of 3 of these.
Okay.
And I think they're $100. They're not $125, so they're a little bit cheaper, but also smaller page count. But you know what? People that are saying that, hey, where's the omnibus? I think with the news that this is getting a brand new recoloring, I think that was really wise of DC to do it in the absolute format because it's going to be easier to do the recoloring touch-up, and then eventually we'll probably get an omnibus down the road in a couple of years. And then we have a new printing. You can quote me on that. In a couple of years. We have the new printing of Absolute Kingdom Come, one of my favorite stories of all time.
Is that out of print?
It's out of print, yeah.
Oh, I don't think I picked up on that.
Yep. So
that's a fabulous story.
Yeah, if you don't own it, you should because it's wonderful. Alex Ross art, Mark Waid, one of Mark Waid's best stories about the Justice League and the future and the Legions. Oh gosh, it's so good. All right, now comes the hardcovers. First of all, the very disappointing Aquaman Underworld Deluxe Edition. What the fuck, DC? We have 6 issues. I think this book is $30. Come on, really?
What Aquaman is that?
It's the new Rebirth Aquaman, and it features art. It's the guy's art that everybody's digging right now. I cannot remember his name.
They don't even collect the first few books. They just jump right to 25 through 30?
Correct, because if you remember, Aquaman Rebirth Deluxe Volume 1 was one of the books that got canceled by DC.
I do remember that.
And for some reason, they think I'm going to buy this book, but no. That's ridiculous. Well, at least for me. Maybe for someone else. More power to you if you want to get that. This is another one that comes as a surprise. Is the Batman by Francis Manapul and Brian Buccellato Deluxe Edition. And collecting issues 30 through 40 in the Detective Comics Annual 1. So this is New 52 stuff.
Yeah.
I think this one here is $50 because this is a deluxe edition. Very exciting to see this keep going. The Detective Comics Rebirth Volume 3.
Oh, yeah.
Collecting 963 to 974 in Annual 1. Brave and the Bold, Batman and Wonder Woman hardcover, issues 1 through 6.
What's that?
I don't know. I think that's the new, that's the Rebirth book.
There's
Or
a
maybe
Rebirth Brave and Bold?
or maybe it was a New 52. I don't know. I didn't look too much into that one. Sejic, that's the guy's name. Thank you, David Codd and Lloyd Wong. Steven Sejic. That guy's artwork's phenomenal and should be
Yeah.
owned in oversized hardcover. But come on, man, 6 issues, $30, and on top of that, we don't have the previous issues in oversized hardcover collection. That's a pass for me. This one I'm very excited about, even though pre-crisis books weren't really up my alley. This is one that I like to call the Red Skies Volume 1. And it's all these books from the time of the Crisis on Infinite Earths. And the Red Skies, as you know, is pretty much anytime they wanted to stamp a Crisis on Infinite Earth event, it could just be the skies are red. That's where that term came from.
Oh, okay.
And so if the Teen Titans were like, oh man, the skies are awfully red, DC would put a stamp on it. Crisis on Infinite Earths crossover event.
Yow.
All right, so I'm excited about that. That's a pickup for me. That's the Compendium Deluxe Edition. It's a pretty big book, and it's Volume 1. So we'll see.
Let me ask you a question. Is that stuff that is not in the
Correct.
Absolute?
Yeah, because the Absolute only had
the main issues,
the main 12 maxi series, and then the Compendium had just the kind of like the sketches, the in between, the storyboards, the script and things like that. It didn't have any issues. It actually, I take it back. It had synopsis of the issues, but it didn't actually contain the issues. So that's pretty exciting.
Okay, good. I am excited for that then.
I know you're definitely excited about the next one, you perv.
Woohoo! Bombshells.
That's right. Deluxe Edition. Baby. I know you're gonna double dip. Give me that oversized hardcover 1 through 12. Good for you. Here's one that I'm really excited about because I told myself that I would wait until summer to see if I buy any of those other trade paperbacks that DC released from the Rebirth line. Because at one time, Green Arrow and Aquaman Deluxe Edition Book 1 were solicited, and both were canceled.
And Green Arrow's great.
It is. It's really good. It harkens back to the old Oliver Queen.
Mm-hmm.
And it brought back the Black Canary Oliver Queen team. So it's back. DC decided to resolicit the book containing the same issues that it was going to contain before, Green Arrow 1 through 12 and Rebirth 1. So everybody that is semi or interested in this book, go and pre-order because DC will break our hearts and cancel it again.
Totally.
Here's another waste of money.
Oh, shut your mouth. Shut your whore mouth. This is what I've been waiting for. This is what I'm most excited about.
You're paying $30 for these books, Jess. Okay.
I am not. I shop at IST. I'm paying like $16.
Okay, this is Harley Quinn and Carcastle and Terry Dotson's Deluxe Edition Book 2, containing the remaining 9 through 19. And I don't understand this part. And covers from 20 to 23. Does that mean that they're done with the series, or does that mean that this makes no sense to me? Or are they just looking for spaces to fill those pages?
That is weird. I haven't seen that before.
I'm keeping an eye on the chat on my phone, and Gabrielle, hell yeah, Annihilation is good. That's one of the best cosmic fucking stories Marvel ever pumped out. Nay, both DC and Marvel ever put out.
And no, it's not going to be reprinted.
You don't know that. Don't listen to Jess. He doesn't know. He's just mad that I was making fun of his Harley Quinn book.
I am.
All right, and here's your Deluxe. I will definitely be picking this up. This is the Harley Quinn Deluxe Volume 2, containing 14 to 27. Good to see more issues in there, and the Harley 25th Anniversary Special. I'm really happy that they're, sticking to their 12 to 15 issues and sometimes more.
Awesome.
Here's a book that I have no idea why this gets collected.
But not talking me into this.
I'm a completist, so I'll keep buying them. This is Justice League Rebirth Deluxe Edition Book 3. This, I think, collects the remaining Brian Hitch issues before we get to the Christopher Priest series.
I ain't getting it.
And here is DC's dick teasing us with the Man of Steel Omnibus that is not coming. Instead, we're getting a Man of Steel hardcover collecting issues 1 through 6 and stories from DC Nation Zero. Why we're not getting an omnibus, I don't know, but I'm hoping that this might be a sign that we may sometime soon. Raven, Daughter of Darkness, collecting issues 1 through 6. I can't remember. Is this the Marv Wolfman series?
I know nothing about Raven, so I couldn't tell you. I have her bombshell statue, and that's it.
Okay. Never mind. So I don't know if this is the Marv Wolfman series that was collected right after Infinite Crisis. Next up is the Suicide Squad Rebirth Edition Book 3, collecting issues 21 through 32. That is another okay series, I think.
It has Harley Quinn in it, so I will buy it.
I am so excited about this, though. The Superman Rebirth Edition Book 3.
Mm-hmm.
I love this series, collecting issues 27 through 36, skipping 37 and 38, and 39 through 41. Now, I'm hoping that someone smart enough at DC decided to plug issues 37 and 38 with that Super Sons Deluxe Edition hardcover that was previously canceled. And maybe we get it resolicited with those 2 issues in it. That would be awesome. But who knows? It's DC. Next, we have The Flash Rebirth, continuing more of the Rebirth Book 3, issues 28 through 38. Keep them coming, DC. I'll keep on buying them. And if you don't have enough Sandman, we have more Sandman coming, the 30th anniversary edition. Let's keep buying Sandman. Golly, man, Sandman is one. I think. Would you say that Sandman or Watchmen is the most printed book at DC?
Well, that's a good question. I think Watchmen is the most printed in the most formats, but gosh, that's a good question. Sandman's got this. These are deluxe anniversary editions, and it's got absolutes, it's got omnis, it's got trade paperbacks.
Wait a minute. Hey, Andrew Zakaria said that Man of Steel book may be a Bendis miniseries book.
But he hasn't even started yet.
No, but remember, these solicitations are for like the second half, or these are like third and fourth quarter of 2018.
Oh, so they're totally jacking you around thinking it's John Burns?
Maybe. I don't know. I don't know, but if it is Bendis, I'm one of the few people not looking forward to that, but whatever.
Ben just hater.
I am not. I just like good stories. All right. So Sandman Volume 1 and 2, if you don't own them again, here they are for the 30th. These will probably have the recolored version from the Absolutes. Then we have another 30th anniversary. This is V for Vendetta hardcover edition.
I'm pick that up because I don't own it in Omni form.
Oh, you don't own it? I don't either. I have the
Absolute.
I have one of the hardcovers, so I'm okay with that. And then we have, yes, and sadly, the remaining Greg Rucka run on Wonder Woman, the Rebirth Deluxe Edition Book 2, collecting issues 15 through 25. And I don't understand this part, though. Selection from Wonder Woman Annual 1. I hate when they only, collect part of the issue. Give me the whole damn thing. Legends of the Dark Knight. I'm going to let Jess pronounce this gentleman's name.
Norm Breyfogle?
Sure. Volume 2.
Breyfogle?
Sure. Collecting Batman Annual 11 and 12 and Detective Comics. Man, these artist collections really jump all over the place. I have Volume really 1, so I'll probably end up getting this one. And speaking of jumping all over the place, here's another 30th anniversary celebration of Hellblazer, collecting John Constantine's first appearance, which is Swamp Thing 37, then the Hellblazer 11, 27. That's just everywhere.
I know 27 is written by Neil Gaiman.
Well, yeah, I'm sure they're picking some of the best. Alan Moore, Neil Gaiman. I'm sure some Mike Carey in there.
Yeah.
Okay. That's all for the hardcovers. And now, let's see. We got trade paperbacks. This is stuff up my alley.
Just so you know, Make Havoc has already said Jess is the best, so the decision's already been made.
Yeah. Well, the best what?
What? I am just the best.
All right, whatever, man. I'm glad you have a fan. Go you.
My one fan.
Oh, whatever, man. Everybody loves you. Don't make this about you. Let's see.
I have a hard time with that.
Aquaman, his greatest victories, jumping all over the place. I guess this is all New 52 stuff. This is Jeff Johns stuff. And then Aquaman Rebirth. God bless DC. Come on, give us a fucking Aquaman hardcover already, or an omnibus. Peter David omnibus. I'm not even going to bother talking about that. Now, this one here, This is Batman: The Dark Knight Detective Volume 2. I was not happy with the selection of books that they put in Volume 1, mainly because it's just year 2. So it collects, the Mike Barr and the Alan Davis and Todd McFarlane year 2, which is my favorite Batman story. Yeah, I know. People like I can't say that too loud because I'm like one of the 5 people that love year 2 so much.
Oh, that's right. You do love year 2.
I do. I've even gotten into almost fistfights over that, making that statement when I used to work at the comic book store because I made the mistake of telling this guy that I think it was superior to year 1, and he threatened to kick my ass. And I was younger, and I'm like, "Fuck you! I'm defending my stance." So this collects a whole lot, though. This collects Batman 432 to 444 and Batman Annual 13. This is the post Crisis on Infinite Earth. So this is around the time Tim Drake Robin. And I can't remember. No, we don't get the first spoiler in there, but that's awesome. And then this is one that I wanted to talk about because DC just dropped these on us, these essential editions. So to me, they feel like they are the Epic line, like the DC Epic line.
Okay.
Collecting just a huge chunk of books for $30 to $35, I think. But it's what I've seen. It's just mainly been the New 52 stuff. So this is Batman Court of the Owl saga, collecting issues 1 through 11 of Batman as well as bonus materials. This is a Scott Snyder run. Highly recommended if you haven't read it. I think who is it in the group that doesn't like it? Was that you or
Court of Owls?
Yeah, one of you guys didn't like it. One of you guys didn't like the Scott Snyder run. I can't remember.
Oh, not me. I loved it.
You love a lot of things, though, so that doesn't count. All right, moving.
That's my opinion, fucker.
I just wanted to make you snap.
You succeeded.
That's my role in this group.
I guess so.
And then we have more Nightfall collection, man, right up your alley. So we've seen the previous Nightfall collected, even though we're still not getting Sword of Azrael in one of these collections, but whatever. So this collects the Crusade and the Surge. This makes me fucking ecstatic. This is Nightwing Volume 8, Lethal Force, collecting Nightwing 61 through 70. This is the Chuck Dixon 90s, early aughts Nightwing. And these issues right here are the final issues that Chuck Dixon wrote. So these line up perfectly. I guess if they want to start doing a Devin Grayson collection, I know her run was either really hated or, people thought it was okay. But I hope they keep going because I'll keep buying them. That gives me hope that Robin and Batgirl and Birds of Prey will keep going too, because we need those Chuck Dixon's runs, man. They were phenomenal. He was the Bat Family in the 90s and early odds. More goodness is the Flash by Mark Waid, book 5, collecting Flash 106 through 118 and in the crossover with Impulse 10 through 11. I would rather have an omnibus, just like I think most people would, but hey, if this is the road to the Omnis, count me in. I'm there. And then we have more of the Essential Edition. This is Flash, New 52, 0 through 12. Like I said, these books are, I think, like $24 or $25 to $29, $30, something like that. More essential stuff. I don't know if there was an essential of the original or of the Jeff Johns Justice League, like issues 1 through 12, but
these essentials are new, I think.
Yeah, this is the first time I've seen them.
Yeah, me too.
Hey, look here, Tom King's Mr. Miracle. Not the oversized deluxe hardcover we were looking for, but, it's the collected edition. Maybe after this one sells, we might get it.
Well, I'm not going to wait. I'm going to get it.
I may wait. I've been a little more patient these last few years. So Titans Together Forever, collecting Titans 1 through 11 and Teen Titans and Titan Special 1. This is the Judd Winnick run right after, I think, the spin-off from Jeff Johns' run from Teen Titans. So then it became like Titans Villains for Hire or something like that. But this was I like this run. I did a custom bind of this run. And last but not least, Young Justice Book 4, continuing the Peter David run. And only collecting 2 of the issues from the Young Justice books, because Sins of Youth was such a huge crossover that all of this is Sins of Youth. And I think it's awesome that they're continuing these, and I hope they keep going. Even though I have these custom bound, I hope that everybody gets a chance to read them because they're some of the best DC books released. This, Mark Waid's Flash, Nightwing, man, we're getting a lot of love. So hoping to see some more. Hoping to fish out some more later on. But that's it. That's it. I'm gonna stop the sharing.
Caught me in the middle of a big yawn. Okay. Good.
And we're here.
There it is. See, I handled that seamlessly.
I do, Tyler. I just came back on. I see Tyler's right there. Yeah, that's exactly what happens to Attack on Louis. As soon as I do a custom bind of something, DC decides to announce something. And that's okay. I'm okay with that. Like, I think I got the Superman's like pre-Death and Return of Superman custom bound, but I still would love to see the official John Byrne Omni or the Exile Omni. I think is pretty cool. That's coming out.
That is a lie, Tyler Blunt. I'm your soulmate, and you know it, not Omar.
But yeah, man. Wait, are you excited about any of those books? Like, what's your besides the Bombshell book?
I'm excited about Mr. Miracle. I'm excited about Harley Quinn.
Okay.
I think I talked myself into being excited about Absolute Swamp Thing because of the recoloring. I'm trying to think else. What else? Superman Rebirth. Yeah, I'm happy about that a lot. I don't know about American Vampire. I have all the standard hardcovers already, and I think I'm happy with those. So I'm just going to keep these. Although I'm really excited that Gabe broke that news because that means Scott Snyder knows what he's talking about, and there may be a Full Metal omnibus coming, as he said.
Well, he said a metal omnibus and also the remaining issues of New 52 Batman in absolute format. Those were the other things that he told Gabe about. So hopefully we'll see. One of the best questions in the chat right now: how do you guys dust? I don't know what dusting is.
Look at all his stuff. I have easy stuff to dust.
I think that it adds character. The dust adds character to these figures. So I don't see a sense for dusting. Or I'm a lazy motherfucker. That might be the problem. Yeah. Do you dust? What about you, Jess? You have those beautiful Bombshell statues. Those
I do dust. Yeah, I use a Swiffer duster.
In a maid's outfit? Oh, somebody else says that. Oh no, it is. Nick said he dusts in a maid outfit.
I have my wife dress up in a maid's outfit, and I dust.
She watches you. Awesome. Right. Yeah, I've already mentioned the issues I'm excited about, man. A lot of those 90s and early '00s books. I think that gives me hope for the remaining Chuck Dixon stuff. I don't see the need to re-release some of these books, like the Aquaman Greatest Victories or Underworld Deluxe Edition. Yeah, I don't get that, but you know, man, more power to you if you get them. How much money have I spent on all those figures?
That's not a good question.
It's okay. Like, I love when some of my friends come down here with their wives, and they're like, it's amazing some of the different things some of them say that they're like, oh my god, like your kids' tuition is down here when they go to college. I've always wanted a 1967 Mustang Cobra, and I'm pretty fucking sure I could have bought one or two by now if I did not collect toys. But whatever.
Yeah, that is an impressive amount of toys behind you.
Yeah. Thanks, man. Yeah, there's a lot of my old Transformers back there.
Very impressive.
Kenneth, I agree. Why hasn't DC released Superman Omnibus? And the Jeff Johns run would have been superb, I think. I love that run. The one like what Superboy in the Legion of Superheroes, all that stuff. New Krypton, World Krypton. I'm surprised we don't have that. Or for that matter, like the big crossovers like our Worlds at War. I don't know. I think DC is slowly catching up with Marvel in their Omni game. Takara, for con, unless Hasbro has it in edition. He's asking me which one I prefer. What's your top One Piece figure? Oh man, they're right over here. Let me see. I don't know if you can see some of them. I've got quite a few. They're all done by Mega House. Man, I've got so many. I really like the Sailing Again figures. These right here. That's from those. And Jess has no idea what the hell I'm talking about.
No, none at all. That doesn't mean I can't appreciate it, but yeah, I'm pretty clueless. Yeah, the Swamp Thing. Michael Lombardo asked, would the Swamp Thing absolute be the beginning of a series? How many volumes total will accomplish? I believe we said we think it's going to be 3 absolutes, and it's an awesome place to start.
Yeah, and the recolors, I think it's a great idea. Like I said, as long as they do it in the style of Sandman, I'm there. Where you can kind of tell, but not really, you know? I think it's going to be good. Let's see what other questions we have. Omar, what's your favorite manga or anime? Anime Tengen Toppa Gurren Lagann, manga Maison Ikkoku. Damn, that was quick.
Yeah, you had those right on the tip of your tongue.
Maybe, yeah. Yeah, I would say those are it.
Just how's the manga reading going? I read a manga 2 weeks ago, so it's going well.
Yeah, he read My Hero Academia, right?
Yep.
Awesome.
I read My Hero Academia, and I read Uzumaki by Junji Ito.
Oh.
And I also read 2 volumes of Monster.
Does Omar sniff the toilet paper after he wipes?
Why did you even read that question out loud?
Because it's Gabe.
It's Gabe. Wow.
I don't really like to sniff things.
Me either.
I'm a creature that likes to be surprised. How many Wade Johns flash trades should we expect? I think 8, because I think he did them all the way up to like 140 something, but then he came back a little bit right after Grant Morrison and Mark Miller. John P's not here, and I'm even correcting myself. So I think we'll have a total of 8. So 3 more. Keep them coming, DC, and then announce me 2 Omni so I can fucking double dip. That's a good question. Have you tried Lone Wolf and Cub, dude?
I have it. I know right where it is.
It's wonderful. It's
is
wonderful.
It? Okay. I'm happy to read it.
You've never seen any of those movies either?
No.
I think in America they were released as, oh shit, what were their names? I own them. I own the stupid names. There were 6 movies released of Lone Wolf and Cub in like an American cut. Samurai Execute? No, not Samurai Execution. Anyway, I'll think of it here in a minute, or maybe somebody in the chat will think of it.
Who's your favorite mutant introduced in the late 90s, and why is the only acceptable answer X-Man?
That's got to be a Tyler question.
That totally is.
Man, in the 90s, there were so many good ones. Like Gambit, I guess that's the one that came to mind. Deadpool, Cinch Cable.
When was Magic introduced?
82. Ileana was introduced in Giant Size 1, but Magic wasn't until 162. It's probably 82. Long before the 90s. It was John Wilson that corrected me on Miller, not John P. Thank you, sir. Thank you for correcting me.
Omnipool keeps asking what we're going to order next week. Do you have any idea?
I think I do have ideas as to what's coming up next week.
Well, I know the Infinity box set is coming out. I'm getting that.
I'll probably get the absolute WildC.A.T.s, even though I give Gabe a lot of shit, but I'm a big Jim Lee fan. And I know I should probably wait because he'll probably go into a discounted bin somewhere, but shit. So yeah, I'll probably get that. I think there were a couple other trades that I was wanting. I can't remember to round up my order.
Yeah, next week's going to be a biggie.
Wow. Jarelli saying he's going to go over 800 next week. Woo!
800. Forgerelli, what else are you gonna get?
Yeah, I'm
Besides,
curious
are you gonna
what
get the
is
Infinity
coming out.
box set? Did Jess buy the Infinity Gauntlet from Marvel Legends? I did not. I just got the bill, as a matter of fact, in the mail. I have to say this quietly because my spending's supposed to be cut back. I just got the bill for the entire new Spider-Man Legends from Big Bad Toy Store, the Spider-Man Legends set, because I'm dying to have a Mysterio. That's really cool.
Is he a Build-A-Figure or is he just a chase?
He's just a regular figure, as far as I know.
Oh, okay.
I forget who the Build-A-Figure is. I can't think offhand. Maybe somebody else knows.
Oh, he said there's 3 art book slipcases coming out. Everything H hardcover for sure, and a bunch of trades.
Oh, Moon Knight by Brian Michael Bendis is also coming out.
That comes out next week?
That is what Brian McCormick is saying, yeah. Now, I already own the standard hardcovers, so I don't know that I'm going to upgrade. I'll have to think hard and long about that. Because I went through hell and high water to get those.
I was trying to find a place that has the solicits for next week, and I couldn't. Because I'm used to, what's his name, Tyler Chu, posting it on the group.
Blah, for Infinity Gauntlet.
Yeah. This absolute Wildcats collect the Killer Instinct crossover with Cyberforce. Lloyd Wong, my man, actually knows that shitty crossover, and I think it does. I think it does. Gabe, am I right? I know you're in the damn chat. Gabe will know this.
Spider-Man Deadpool Omnibus or hardcover?
That's the hardcover, isn't it?
Yeah, I'm people saying Omnibus. I thought that was hardcover.
I think it's just it's an oversized hardcover.
Tyler Blunt, what do you know the Build-A-Figure in the Spidey wave? He's saying I made the right decision on it. So he's definitely the devil on my shoulder.
That crossover is the best, Omar.
Bite your tongue.
I mean, I bought them when I was younger, so. All right, here it is. Wildcats 1 through 13 and 50. Holy shit, that's a big jump. Cyberforce 1 through 3. That's the crossover he's talking about. Wildcats 1. It does include the Huntsman story written by Chris Claremont. Wildcats X-Men Silver Age 1 and Wildcats 1 through 4. You know what kills me, Gabe or Jess, is...
Do I look like Gabe to you?
No, well, Gabe is the one that wrote what was in there.
I have hair.
This reminds me when it... So this absolute reprints Wildcats and X-Men, the Silver Age 1, right? That was drawn by Jim Lee. So my problem is, why are they able to acquire the rights for X-Men, but when when DC was releasing the Stormwatch hardcovers, they couldn't put the Alien versus Wildcats storyline in there.
Was that a Dark Horse thing?
Yeah.
I have that issue right here.
Right. It's the one where literally the issue that you need, because like
it doesn't make sense without this.
Well, 3/4 of the team gets killed in that issue. Correct.
You have to have this issue or nothing makes sense.
And so if you have the Stormwatch collections, you're like, the only reason I knew is because I remember reading that issue. So you're like, wait, what the hell happened to everybody else? Not that it's that big of a deal, but
you have to know what's going on in the story.
So it bothers me that they went ahead, they were able to acquire the rights for X-Men to use for this absolute, but they just didn't give a shit about the Alien book.
Yeah.
Maybe it's because it belongs to like Dark Horse and Fox or some other, I don't know. But then again, so did X-Men. Yeah. I don't know.
Aliens is Dark Horse. And so I don't know. I know that after I got the Stormwatch books, I had to go on eBay and get this issue, so I knew what was going on. And the Build-A-Figure is the Lizard. Thank you, Tyler Blunt.
Lizard, huh? Gabe gave us all the info.
Mm-hmm. How goes the budget, Jess? The budget's going well. I ordered nothing this week in order to prepare for next week. because I know next week's going to be a big week. I mean, one item is pretty much my budget, so.
Yeah, but don't people from the group love you so much they send you stuff all the time?
Oh yeah, except they're sending me a sideshow statue this week.
Oh, okay. You've already used that excuse.
I'm going to, yeah. The Han
All
Protocol.
right. They got the rights to X-Men. That bodes well for a new Marvel DC crossover. Maybe. I'm still waiting for my Marvel DC Omnibus that I've had pre-order on Amazon's for like 10 years now. I think they finally removed it like 2 years ago. Like Amazon sent me a letter going, yeah, that book's not coming, dude. You've had this pre-ordered for 7 years. Enough's enough.
Don't bother, Nicholas Munoz. I've got an ironclad relationship with IST.
Let's see. I think I prefer to read the complete collection rather than the Omni later. Ah, man. For me, I think the Omnibus is what I like, what I typically go for, unless I love the artwork. As is the case of I think for me, George Perez's artwork needs to be oversized because he has so much detail in each panel. And Crisis on Infinite Earths is a perfect example of that. Alex Ross as well. I love his artwork, oversized. Jim Lee. We've gone. The only reason I'm buying that damn WildC.A.T.s book is sure as fuck is in for the story. But most of the time, I really prefer the Omnibus as well, unless the absolutes come first. Like for the the Tim Cell stuff, the Jeff Loeb and Tim Cell stuff, I'll keep my absolutes. And the Sandman stuff, I didn't get the 2 huge Omnis.
Do you think we'll get a Messiah War Omnibus? That's an interesting question.
That's I almost want to say yes, but I want to know. I think it would have to be a matter of 2 Omnis, because you would have to include the X-Men Messiah complex, and then if you want to include the endangered species stories in there. But then you also have to include, I would say it's essential to read all of X-Force by Yost and Kyle. So I would include all those issues in there along with Messiah War and the Cable crossover, and then finish it off with Necrotia. So I would think that would be a total of 2 Omnis if they decided to go that route. There are other X-Men crossovers that they haven't done yet. Tyler just posted in the group about reading the 12, and I remember thinking years ago, I thought that would make a good omnibus because it would include X-Men, the Astonishing X-Men, which is the beginning of the Shattering storyline leading up to Apocalypse the 12, and then ending it with the Search for Cyclops. So I think that would make for a good Omni as well. So still dangling X-Men storylines out there that would make for a good omnibus, and this X-Men Wedding of Cyclops and Phoenix gives me hope that we're going to get more this year, if not next year.
Ms. Camarero, I did see the new Harley Quinn statues. They look great. I don't know that they interest Omar at all, but I thought they looked great. I don't have room for them, but they look cool.
With the recent Hickman complete collections being solicited, I'm going to go the route 2 over to the Omnis. I hope after those complete collections, we get the Omnis back in print. I think Marvel has they definitely have a way of pulling the omnibus and then releasing complete collections and making you think that, no, we're only going to release complete collections, and then damn, out of nowhere, here comes the Omni again. Man, I think they just want us to buy their shit. But hey, Hickman is an exclusive over at Marvel, so who knows what we'll see reprinted.
Yeah, it wouldn't surprise me to see that reprinted.
Jake Knapp, you guys hear about Absolute Saga of Swamp Thing coming out later this year? That's what the beginning of the episode was, all the stuff we heard about coming out later this year, including the Absolute Saga of Swamp Thing, which we're both excited about. I still don't know if I'm going to upgrade or not, but maybe once I see it, I may. Lemire has another Black Hammer comic in that universe.
good.
Have you read Black Hammer?
I have.
Okay. Yeah, it's good.
It's brilliant. I love it.
I'm gonna ignore Nick Munoz like you guys do. Did you hear that Infinity War has been pushed up to April 27th now?
That is interesting. What are your thoughts on that?
Fuck yeah, the closer it gets here, the better.
Yeah, it's
I'm
fine
excited,
with me.
Omar, what do you think of Ryan Ottley drawing Spider-Man? I think he is awesome and will be perfect on Spider-Man. I don't know how I feel about Nick Spencer because, as I mentioned before, he is hit or miss with me. But I love his Lethal Foes of Spider-Man that Jess and I talked about on Tuesday on my channel. And I'm hoping that he channels that energy into this Spider-Man book. So, oh man, I hate the fact that they're restarting again with a #1.
They're starting over with a #1 instead of continuing Amazing Spider-Man regular?
Yeah. It's going to be Amazing Spider-Man 1. Don't worry, give them 10 issues and they'll be renumbered again to like 750 or 850 or whatever the hell number they're on right now. It's Marvel. I don't know if they know how to market their comics anymore.
Yeah, that is weird.
I really think they think to fix something that they think is broken, they need to just relaunch everything again. Oh, man. So that Man of Steel was for Bendis' upcoming mini. Woo! Thanks for clearing that up, Real Big Cohen. Welcome to the first time watching live, Alex Hernandez. Yeah, I don't know, Chris M. I kind of want to give him the benefit of the doubt because he has written some good stuff, and then Captain America and Secret Empire. Ugh. Wasn't a big fan of that. I wasn't a big fan of his Secret Avengers either, but. What do you guys think of Kristen Wiig playing Cheetah in Wonder Woman 2? Is that a thing, or is that still in talks?
I know she just signed to do something.
I think she's got range. I don't know. It's not like Cheetah isn't one of my favorite characters. I don't know.
That's her major enemy, though, so I think it's great.
I'm sure it can beat Mustache Aries from the first movie. So, I don't know. I think Kristen Wiig can pull it off. She's got quite a range.
She's good.
That's the thing about comedians. That's why some people cast comedians is they do have quite the range. I'm not comparing her to the likes of Robin Williams or anything, but she is pretty good.
Yeah, I like her a lot.
Any thoughts on Avengers Infinity War change state other than me going fuck yeah? Jess, what do you think? Are you yeah?
Oh yeah, I'm a big yeah. I'm a big yeah on that.
Bendis is going to change something in Man of Steel. Superman will have issue 1 again. Yeah, I knew that. Action Comics is still going to go, right? Because I think Action Comics 1000 will be his very first story in it.
Mm-hmm.
And then I'm really, oh man, I'm torn, because I really hate to see Tomasi go.
Yeah.
And Gleason and all those guys that have just been putting out these wonderful books, including Super Sons. So it's not just the Superman titles, right? Because I think Supergirl and Super Sons are both being canceled.
Superwoman, yeah. Oh, is Supergirl being canceled?
Yeah, Supergirl and Super Sons both being canceled. So I think they're gonna do a rehaul of all the Super books again.
Yeah, I think you're right.
I don't know, Super Family or whatever the hell Bendis has in mind.
Is Wonder Woman? Go ahead. I was about ready to rip into somebody. Go ahead.
No, I was gonna say, and I could be wrong. Bendis, may pull out some amazing stories. He has been grounded in Marvel for way too long, so maybe we can get some great stories out of this.
Yes, Gabriel, I hope to. Go ahead.
No, you go. I talked enough.
Is Wonder Woman Rebirth good? Gabriel asked. I heard mixed reviews. People that gave that book mixed reviews are known as stupid people.
Well said.
You just need to pick up Wonder Woman Rebirth, both the Greg Rucka, the first deluxe edition, and then the second one that's coming out. Read it and be happy. It is great.
They are a wonderful retelling of her origin. I completely agree with Jess. Greg Rucka does an amazing job of just mixing all the origins of Wonder Woman together in the first volume, and oh man, and that artwork by Liam Sharp and Nicola Scott. Whew.
Oh yeah,
yeah. So
that artwork is top notch.
Volume 2 is gonna be rough because I think that's the last one. I haven't read any of James Robinson's run yet. I'm almost afraid to, but I guess I need to.
When did Nick Munoz become a mod?
I think Gabe's making everybody a mod.
Frick.
Old man with the cool sweater. That's how you're known as.
That's cool. I'm happy with that. It's my fave sweater.
I love that they know you as that and Gabe as the bald guy, the bald racist guy. Azzarello and Chang are still my favorite Wonder Woman.
I love that run.
That was a good run too. But I enjoyed Greg Rucka's like original Wonder Woman run too before Infinite Crisis. I thought that stuff was awesome.
Yeah,
because as much as I love George Perez and Phil Jimenez's artwork, I think the stories just weren't as good and didn't have the substance that Greg Rucka was able to do, even introducing new characters.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but Azzarello and Chang, they're a close second. They changed that story up so much. It was awesome.
Yeah, they really made it their own. I really love that. I think I might pull those out, read them, and review them, both those absolutes.
Oh, that's right. They've been collecting in absolutes, and then, oh my God, David Finch and his wife took over. I forgot about that.
I'll be ignoring that if it gets released.
In Omni format or in absolute format?
In any format.
Yeah, those are about as good as Riley's Dark Knight books. Any good comics with a young Clark Kent? Wasn't Superman Birthright?
I was just going to say Birthright.
I liked Superman for All Seasons, but that didn't really have a young... I'm trying to think of young Clark Kent stories. I know that Jeff Johns did one with the Legion of Superheroes. That was awesome. Oh, man. I don't have my books in front of me.
Yeah, an American Alien is mostly young Superman.
Yeah. Secret Identity? Secret Identity? Was that what it was called?
By Busiek?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's good.
That's a good one. Yeah.
American Alien's good, too, for kind of a young Clark Kent, more Superman.
Oh, and Secret Origins. Thank you, Alex Hernandez. Secret Origins, Jeff Johns. That was good, too, with Gary Frank. Yeah, but I think my favorite would probably be Secret Identity. Followed closely by Secret Origin. Those were both awesome. Let's see. Is there any more questions? How does Luis do this for an hour and a half by himself?
I don't know. That's a good question.
Then Smallville has comics too, right? Like season 11 and things like that.
We do not have the discount code yet. We're working on it.
Not yet, Luis. They are working on it. We're just asking questions. Gary Frank is like a god to me. That's awesome. I love that guy's artwork. I loved him on early on when I was reading Hulk. Because Hulk, for a while, they kept getting these replacement artists that just wouldn't stay, especially right after Del Keown left. It was Liam Sharp, then Jander Sema, and then Gary Frank came on board and knocked it out of the park. Man, I love that dude's artwork. And then I was hooked on him from that moment on.
I know what we can do to fill the void. We can talk about in-stock trades.
Is there a void?
Sponsor? Yeah, there is, because now we're talking about what TV's on tonight. Gotham TV show returned tonight. In stock trades where you can go to get up to 50% off on your collected editions. Order more than $50 of books, and in the United States, you get your shipping free. You can qualify for a loyalty discount. They also package like champions, and they're bomb-proof packaging. I actually haven't set off a bomb next to one yet, so I probably shouldn't say that. Post office-proof packaging. That's what that is. And fabulous customer service. That's in stocktrades.com. Fabulous customer service.
Well said, sir.
Thank you.
Chris M said you guys started with the budgeting and they pulled the code.
Right.
Man, I ain't ever said shit about budgeting. That was all Jess.
That was all me.
I'm the opposite of budgeting.
Look at them toys behind him. You think that guy works on a budget?
Nope. Latino's life expectancy is short as it is anyway, so I might as well blow my money.
Good way to look at it. I'm going to go upstairs and have a ice cream because you never know. I could get hit by a bus tomorrow.
Let's see. My girlfriend just bought me books from In Stock Trades for the first time. Best birthday gift. Good
girlfriend.
Yeah, I agree.
Hang on to that one.
Lock that down, brother. Lock that down. Not a lot of women will do that. Marry her, Alex.
Totally.
Are you guys excited for the Superman Exile Omnibus?
I'll probably
I have those. You'll get it?
Yeah.
I have those custom bound, and I really like those stories. So, yeah. They're the post John Byrne stories, but it was when Dan Jurgens was coming on to kind of begin a lot of his run. Louis Simonson, who was the other writer on the books at the time? Oh, damn, I can't remember. But anyway, it's after John Byrne, so I thought it was really cool. I dug those stories.
Nick, you cannot even compare this background to Omar's background. Those are two completely different animals.
Yeah, he's got some classy chicks back there. I just have giant robots.
Wads and wads of them.
Lots of them. Let's see. Do you think they'll have BPRD Omni similar to the upcoming Hellboy Omnibus? Man, those BPRD books are thick enough as it is. I think they include like 3 trade paperbacks in each one of those. So I think those are already, and they're available in soft covers too, not just hardcover. So I think that's probably the omnibus route that the Hellboy books are going to be in. What do you think, Jess?
I agree with you.
I like that answer.
Yeah.
How do you dust all those fucking figures? Man, that's like the 4th time I've been asked. I don't. Jess apparently dresses up as a maid and dusts his.
With my little Swiffer duster.
I do not believe in dusting. I'm sure a lot of these figures have some growths on them or something.
Dust bunnies.
Sure. Very carefully. Nope. For some reason, I used to think Louise Simonson was black. I think because her nickname is Wheezy and she created the character Steel. Nope, that is a white old lady.
Yeah.
I've always wanted to meet her and Walter Simonson. I've never got the chance to meet him because I enjoyed her New Mutants and X Factor run.
I met them both at Baltimore Con with Fariha. It was fun. They could not have been nicer. I mean, they're probably the 2 nicest people on earth.
Really?
Yeah. God, they were nice.
2 nicest people on earth? Like, did they buy you dinner?
No, they didn't. I bought dinner that night for not for them, but for who I was.
For Jelly agrees. The Simonsons are super nice people. Omar, this is my. Omnipool. Damn, I'm tripping. This is my basement. Oh, he said Stan Sakai is nicer. Have you met him?
I did meet Stan Sakai. He is super nice. He's very quiet though. I didn't find him. Louise and Walter were very animated. They really got into it by taking pictures of them with Freya and getting her book signed and stuff. They really got into it. They were very patient with the fans because they had a very long line. They were very patient with the fans. Stanza guy was perfectly nice. I mean, he was a very, very nice guy. I liked him. I liked him a lot. I got books signed by both of them at Baltimore.
I think probably the nicest guy I ever met was George Perez. Was awesome. Because, you know, a lot of these creators that I met were older and they were a little bit crankier when I met them. But no, man, Perez has always been a gentleman. And John Byrne's always been a prick to like anybody. I think that's what he's notorious for. But I'm trying to think. I don't think anybody topped Perez. Perez was just such a great guy. And I met him a couple of times too.
He was going to be at Baltimore, and he was #1 on my list next to Mark Waid, and I really wanted to meet him, but then he had a heart condition and had to cancel, and I hope that he's doing better because I want to get a picture taken with him. He seems to be just so much fun.
This is a good question. So OmniPulse says he had a game room in his basement and got trashed from a flood. I feel for you, and I'm sure Jess does too because he had a scary experience like that.
Yep.
And he's asking, you guys have insurance, right? Those collections are awesome. I'm gonna tell, like, a friend of mine asked me because he's also a collector. If I buy additional insurance for my collections, because he has additional insurance just for his collection. My answer is no, because this might be stupid and this is just the way I think. But there are some figures down here that I told my story about my Hikaru figure. It took me 10 years to find. So I figured if it all gets lost, then I can't replace these again. So screw it. I'm done. Like, I can't start over. Like, if something happens, if there's a fire or flood, whatever, and I lose this stuff, then it's just, it's gone. And I'll go and fucking collect cars or snort fucking coke off of hookers' asses or something else with my money.
I love Doomfella, how he knows my collection better than I do. Jess, didn't you get V for Vendetta Absolute damaged from IST?
Wow.
Yeah, it turns out I do have it. I just looked. It's right there. Doomfella, what else do I have?
That's hilarious. You were talking about buying that issue.
I know.
For that book.
I forgot that I bought it damaged. I'm such a space case.
You just have so much money to blow on this stuff.
It rain.
Oh, Commandi's a must buy for me. Does that come out next week? The Jack Kirby stuff, the omnibus?
I actually don't know.
That is a definite buy for me. What comic is my Nightfall? That's Michael Lombardo asking. So, oh man, what comic that I just can't? I don't know. I don't know if I would. I'm trying to think of the equivalent because I know Jess, if he had the money, would buy Nightfall Omnis and just pour root beer on them and ship them back to DC. And I'm trying to think of a comic that I hated that much. And it's probably some X-Men comic that just pissed me off. That, because I quit reading comics because of Onslaught. That was my I wouldn't consider it my Nightfall because I own the stupid omnibus and I've gone back and reread them and they're not as bad as some other stuff I've read. I mean, Bendis has pissed me off quite a bit too, especially like his Guardians. You know what? I'm gonna go with Bendis' Guardians of the Galaxy. That's my Nightfall.
Really?
Yeah, I hated that book, dude, because I love Abnett and Landing's Guardians of the Galaxy. Like it took them 5 years to build this wonderful story that took Bendis like 2 issues to just fuck you, fans. Oh, yeah, I would say Bendis' Guardians of the Galaxy. Onslaught is awesome. Of course, that's Gabe. I don't even know why I read that. Thank you, Sledge. I left comics for 14 years because of Onslaught 2. My man.
Uh-oh. Ryan Barrett saying something controversial. Gabe's going to be all over that comment.
Cross is unreadable, at least the first in the story. Mark Miller's Trouble's up there, too. You are right, Forgelli. I enjoyed Dirty Dancing a lot more.
I've never read that.
It's Dirty Dancing with Aunt May. It's fucking atrocious.
Weird.
It was their first epic line that was going to kick off their epic line. And I think Crimson Dynamo came out, and that trouble killed their epic line. It was horrible. I have never been so upset that I quit comics. Don't worry, Nick. You're still young enough. There'll come a time when you'll read something and be like, fuck this, I'm out. Or maybe not. Maybe you're more optimistic than I am. Jess, have you ever quit?
Yeah.
You've been collecting for a long time.
I have. I quit when I went to college. So let's see. I quit from 1977 till when Dark Knight Returns came out and Watchmen came out. And that's what got me back into comics in 85, 86. And I've been collecting again ever since. But yeah, I quit when I was about 17 and picked it back up when I was 25, 26.
What made you quit?
Bronze
Women.
Girls. Bronze Age JLA.
Whoa.
I started reading, I've been steadily reading JLA from when I was 6 till I was 17, and just Bronze Age DC in general. I just started reading these comics. I didn't like the art. I didn't like the stories. I thought, what am I doing reading these? They don't make sense. I'm not into it at all. And it was just kind of, we just broke up for a while. And it took Frank Miller and Alan Moore to bring me back. I just did not dig the Bronze Age DC latter part of it in the late 70s.
So that was yours, huh? Mine, yeah. I didn't come back until Grant Morrison's new X-Men. Like issue 115, 116 had just dropped, and a friend of mine that... You always have that one friend that no matter what will read comics forever. And my buddy Dennis was like, oh, dude, you got to come back and read comics. They're amazing again. And I'm like, dude, I don't give a shit about comic books anymore. I found other things in life like toys. But I came back and I'm like, shit, this is really good. And at that time, I read that. And then like a lot of the Marvel Knights stuff was coming out, like Welcome Back Frank by Ennis, and then Daredevil by Brian Michael Bendis, which I still think is okay. I don't love it as much as some people did. It's probably one of his better works though. And man, and I just didn't quit again because I was like, after this Morrison guy leaves, I'll call it again and take off. And then we got Joss Whedon. And I was hooked. So I was like, fuck it. I guess this is always going to be a part of my life. Like I always, I kept some of my collected editions or my trade paperbacks and stuff. And I kept my comic books and I would read them every once in a while during that break, but I never bought anything new. So I was out of the loop mainly on X-Men. And I was out of the loop on Spider-Man. And I think I was out of the loop on Spider-Man so much I came back. Oh, and when I came back, Straczynski was writing Spider-Man, and that was awesome. Because I quit right around the Clone Saga, and apparently I really didn't miss that much.
Rockets?
Yeah, I'm still reading it.
Mm-hmm.
I'm halfway through volume 2. I'm enjoying it more than I did volume 1, so I hope it keeps going. It keeps getting better and better. I've been told it gets better, so holding on. Daniel, I only started reading 3 years ago. Guess that's why I seem to like modern stuff a lot more. Nothing wrong with that at all. I remember when I was young, like a friend of mine who was a little bit older, and Jess, you can attest to this, once told me this theory that comic books storylines tend to have a 7-year cycle. That every 7 years they tell the same story over and over and over. And you don't notice it if you haven't been reading comics long, or if you've only been reading comics for 5 years. But the older you get, the more you're being like, I feel like I've read this story not just once before, but 2 or 3 times before. And it's just a matter of the presentation and how it gets told that is what sells it.
Right.
I'll just use Civil War for an example. Like Civil War was practically the just the Mutant Registration Act over again, but except with superheroes instead of mutants. So things like that. Now it seems like Marvel's revamping their shit every few months, so who knows? I don't even know if they wait 7 years anymore.
Oh, Sam, you're welcome. You are directly responsible for my owning Herbie.
So that's Sam, huh?
Yeah. Sam also knows an unhealthy amount about my life.
So he knows that you would dig Herbie. So he's the guy that started the Herbie revolution.
He is.
Let's see. Is that new Francis Manipul Deluxe his run on New 52 Detective Comics or something else? Yes, that's his run on Detective Comics in the New 52. That's everything that he did with Buccellato right after they finished Flash. Wow, I came back to comics because I met Stan Sakai in person in 2010. That's awesome.
That is cool.
I'm 52. This is Cuban Groove. I'm 52 and I just started reading again 4 years ago. Thanks to Luis and Riley. That's awesome. They're still on the show. They were here Monday. It was great to have everybody on. Luis Lopez, I just found out that no, Low is not completed yet. Apparently there's going to be more. So that's good. I like that story a lot. Herbie gave me the urge to eat a lollipop. Was there anything in particular that brought you back into comics, Jess, when you came back from your break?
Yeah, Dark Knight Returns.
I mean, was there a moment that somebody said, dude, you need to read Dark Knight Returns, or were you just at a comic book store?
Yeah, I was in LA at the time, living in Los Angeles at the time, and there was a big Herkin article about it in the LA Times. And I said, this sounds pretty cool. And so I went to Golden Apple Comics, and I searched it out, and it was already $50 for a first printing. And I said, I'm not paying $50 for that. Just give me the second printing or whatever, and let me read it that way. And so, and I read it and got hooked. And then when I moved to DC, let's see, that was late 85, I would guess, that I got Dark Knight Returns. Then in 86, I moved to DC, and that is when I started collecting the single issues of Watchmen. And that was awesome. That cemented me. And then, like, a little bit later is when Sandman and Hellblazer came out, and then it was off to the races.
So you were in the semi-indie scene there, huh?
Right.
Starting off with Sandman. Yeah, that's cool.
The only reason I picked up Sandman 1 and Hellblazer 1 was because the covers were cool. I said, wow, look how cool these comic covers are. I wonder if anything interesting in them. And, of course, they turned out to be awesome, so I got lucky there.
The Sandman cover is still one of my favorites. So David Codd said Guardians of the Galaxy was what really got him into comic books. So his first singles he started buying were Bendis's. Hey, if you enjoy them, man, more power to you. That's awesome. Those were just my personal hated books. But he said Western comics. That is, he's had a hella manga since his teens. Yeah. Oh, now when I did stop reading comics, I never did stop reading manga. I will say that. Like, it was just I think I was just burnt out on the American comics. And when I quit, man, I missed out on some good stuff that was coming out at the time, like Transmetropolitan and Hitman and all that stuff. So I caught up on that stuff in trade paperback.
I never wore a full goth outfit. I mean, yes.
Well, you never went to Hot Topic and got you a full goth outfit? Your death shirt? To
see the Dead Kennedys and Black Flag, I did put Jell-O in my hair when I was in my early 20s. My hair was short and spiky, and I put it up with Jell-O.
That's awesome.
To see the Black Flag, Dead Kennedys, and the Ramones.
Just the hair?
Yeah, just the hair. I did not take a Jello bath. We mixed it in my sink, my buddy and I, and then we shoved it in our hair. And it smelled like orange Jello all night.
Doomfellow. I've been reading comics since the day I was born. I can remember coming out of the womb and seeing a copy of Batman 224 sitting on the table in the room. That's awesome. I'm reading Planet Hulk now. You got any spoiler-free thoughts? Yeah, that fucking book is awesome. I didn't think anybody could match Peter David at writing Hulk, and I love that story.
I do too. I think it's the best Hulk book there is. It's my favorite Hulk book anyway.
It's up there for me. I'm a big fan of Peter David, but man, that book was so good. And the stuff that followed afterwards was good too. I mean, World War Hulk wasn't as good as Planet Hulk, but the Hulk issues and then the Incredible Hercules, all that stuff, I really dug that stuff.
No, I never got a chance to see Bad Brains. By the time I moved to DC, I think they had already broken up, and had they reformed, I would have seen them. But the time period that I moved here to DC in the mid '80s, mid to late '80s, I do not recall ever seeing them as a live show. Now, I did see Fugazi, but I haven't seen Bad Brains.
Now you got to put a picture of your Jello hair on Instagram.
We did not have handheld cameras like you got with iPhones now. My parents didn't take a picture of us as we were gelling up in my bathroom. That sounds really wrong. Sorry.
This is a really good question. Michael Lombardo is asking, when you guys were house hunting, was a finished basement number one on your list to gotta have? Yes, it absolutely was for me. And I lied to my wife and I told her we need a place to come, like in case there's tornado, because we live in Kentucky. In case there's a tornado, we're gonna have kids. Fuck that, man. In my head, I was already lining up where I was gonna put my figures. I was like, my manga's gonna go in this corner. Oh shit. At the time I already had it like spaced out. But yes, that was. What about you, Jess? Was that something you looked for, or just happened?
Yeah, I don't know if it was number one on my list. We've redone almost everything in our house, and we redid the basement. And this used to be my wife's office when she worked at home back in the early '90s. But then when she moved out to work in a regular office, I moved in. Yeah, so it was great to have a finished basement. We redid the basement. I think that was the first thing we redid was the basement.
Chris M, no. I told my wife the other day, like, because we are going to go house hunting next year. I'm just too fucking old to be moving shit again. Like, I'll be... but I did tell her, you know what, though? They can, I will pay somebody to move my furniture and shit, but ain't nobody touching my fucking collectibles. I don't trust anybody. Like, it's going to be me driving in my damn SUV with a pop box and just labeled differently. Yeah.
Totally.
Let's see. Somebody was asking earlier that they had the Planet Hulk the thick trade paperback if they need the omnibus. Honestly, that omnibus is really thin. Even if you had the oversized hardcover, which is exactly what you have, the oversized trade paperback, I don't think that Omni adds that much. It adds the prelude to it, which was written by Daniel Way, so you're not missing out much. And then a few of the other issues that were collected elsewhere in trade paperback form. There wasn't that much added to it. It is a very thin trade paperback, or Omni. I'm an idiot and I upgraded, so.
I didn't upgrade. I just kept my oversized hardcover.
You're a smart man. You're a smarter man than I am.
I did get World War Hulk, though. I did get that.
Well, that one's a little thicker, though. That one's about twice the size. Yeah.
Yeah.
How long did it take you till your man caves were official? Man, brother, I think my man cave was finished before I was upstairs. Before all the painting was done upstairs, I would stay up late at night till like 2 or 3 in the morning and just come down here and move things around. And it was a fun time in my life, just moving things around, rediscovering things that I've had in boxes and like climate control storage sheds, and I'm like, oh shit, I actually own that. Like I remember finding like the first appearance of Deadpool, the first appearance of Gambit, or my giant size X-Men 1. I'm like, oh dude, this is so awesome. But yeah, I think it took me about 4 months to have it completely done. How about you, Jess? How long did it take you to? Because I assume you did all that by yourself.
Yeah. I'd say, let's see, it was probably done. Let me think here. It was probably done in 2015, and it took me about a year to get it all sorted out. I'd say it took me about a year. 2015. Yeah, I started around 2014, moving everything from all over the place down into here. And took me about a year to get everything figured out.
Yeah, this is a good question because I'm curious about this too. Because I've read half of these books. Somebody was asking earlier if you had read. It was Sledge. Have you read First Kingdom?
Have I?
Yeah,
I
the
don't know what it
G.A.T.s
is.
book.
No.
Oh, it's probably. I read the first 3 volumes because I was a member of one of the, I think it was a Marvel Masterworks forum. One of the guys posted pictures and I fell in love because it was like it started in the 1970s and the guy took over 2 decades to finish it. 6 volumes, 6 hardcovers that are out. I own all 6, but they're just so damn text heavy that I had to take a break and I haven't read the last 3 yet. But his art is so beautifully detailed, dude. If you look up First Kingdom, G.A.T.s, here's how I'll sell you. There's boobs, futuristic vehicles, like just really detailed artwork. I don't have them with me here, but I enjoyed what I read so far. But like I said, they're really text heavy. And it's probably, I think it was considered at one time the very first independent comic book.
First Kingdom. I'll have to check that out.
It's up your alley, dude.
Is it? Okay.
Yeah, like seriously, if you Google the artwork, it's amazing. And the story itself is solid. It's just, like I said, really, really dialogue heavy and really text heavy. So why don't we take 2 more questions and call it a night, brother?
Well, let me answer a couple of punk rock questions first.
I'm sorry, is this OmniBros or punk rock? I'm fucking with you. Go ahead.
I did not get a chance to see the Misfits and Make Havoc. By the time I moved to LA, I believe the Buzzcocks had already broken up, so I did not get a chance to see them. Jess, what are your thoughts on Silver Age Teen Titans? I have a soft spot for them. I have a soft spot in my head for them, a soft spot in my heart for them. It's really cringy writing. It's adults trying to write as teenagers, and it's really cringy. But for some reason, I love it. It must be the same reason I love all Silver Age. It's so stupid, but I really love it.
Were you done answering your punk rock questions? I didn't want to interrupt you, man.
Yes. Here's a question for you, Omar.
All right, go ahead. What is it?
Aesthetically, who do you prefer, Optimus or Megatron?
Megatron. Decepticons for life, man.
Here's your answer.
My wife a few years ago got me these you know how the little family, like you have family bumper stickers for the back of your cars and stuff. So my wife got me some that's Decepticon for me, and then 3 Autobot symbols with little bows, hair bows, like for my wife and my 2 girls.
It's so cute.
It's adorable. I'm trying to find some damn First Kingdom artwork so you can look at it and be like, okay, I got to buy the first volume. It's all black and white. Like I said, it feels independent too. And it's just so like the artwork's amazing. I'm glad somebody brought that up because I when I first joined you guys, I wanted to talk about it, but I kept forgetting to bring it up, and then we just moved on and started talking about other stuff.
Jake Forgerelli. Here's some of the guys you're talking about right here. I haven't read it yet, but I got them.
What's your favorite Transformer series and why is it Beast Wars? You're right. I love Beast Wars. It's phenomenal. Oh, man.
Oh, and here's a book I have read, Jake Forgerelli. Theory of the Grain of Sand.
Hey, open that up. That looks good.
Oh, it is really good.
Show me some art. You know, art really sells me, so. And to answer one of the questions here, is G.I. Joe IDW any good? Unfortunately, no. They're not that great. They're not as great as the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles or Transformer books. There's a couple of issues that stand out, but that's about it. Go ahead.
Okay, here's this. If you can see it, I'll page to another page. It's really fine art. It is really beautiful.
The whites stand out.
Yeah, there's a little bit of background painting to make the white stick out, which is really cool. Yeah, the whites are really bright in it.
I like that artwork.
Oh, yeah, this book is so good, and it goes with Leaning Girl, which I haven't read yet, so I'm going to need to read this over when I read Leaning Girl. Those are books that came from the fabulous Bon Idlehouse, former member of the group and still friend of mine. But yeah, this artwork is the Bombski.
Bombski?
Yeah.
By Earl Grey. He has multiple close-ups of videos of those guys. I will. Thanks for Delia. I definitely will.
Yeah, so this is some more. I mean, it's really good, and the story is just amazing. These are very European stories, but they're still really good.
All right. So before I go, thank you, Nick. Nick, our wonderful admin moderator, showed me a link. Here, let me show you this. I'm going to share the screen with you real quick, Jess. So let me show you some of this First Kingdom stuff real quick, and then we can call it a night.
Oh, okay, good.
Just let me know when you can see it, brother.
Okay.
You see it?
Yep.
All right. So this is one page. This is one page. Look at the details. Look at these little dudes dancing.
Oh, my word.
You can tell why this guy took like almost 20 years to finish this story. This is, I thank you for reminding me that this exists, because now I want to go back and read this. Maybe I'll start over again with volume 1. But yeah, this is the detail amount of detail. This is in the 70s when he came out with this. And as I promised, boobs.
Boobs.
Yeah, you would dig it, man. It's up your alley. Shit. God damn, I'm 2 hours late for my work. Thanks, everyone. Thank you, guys. Whoops. Earl Grey. Okay, I'm going to check out that comic channel. The boobs are not detailed. No, they get detailed later on, though. You still with me, Jess? Or are you still looking at that picture?
I was looking to where you saw the boobs are not detailed. It hadn't come up for me yet.
Oh, it's on the chat. I do have the Takara Masterpiece Beast Wars. I have Cheetor and Optimus Primal, and I have Dinobot pre-ordered.
Yeah, that's a good question. How hard is First Kingdom to acquire now?
You know, I think I actually bought them all through in-stock trades. Maybe one of them I bought through Amazon.
Oh, really?
Yeah, they were. I mean, they were in print for a while. They were released by Titan Comics. So First Kingdom looks like volume 6, 5, 4, 2, 3 are all available at in-stock trade. So let's find out if volumes 1. So it looks like the only one they don't have is volume 1. Let's see if volume. It's never a good sign, huh?
No.
All right, really quick. Let's see if Amazon has volume 1 of First Kingdom. hate to recommend a book, and then everyone's like, "Oh my god, the first volume's $1,000." No, it's in stock. It's they have the volume 1's available. Actually, I did order it from Amazon. Volume 1, I did. I ordered it on September 22nd, 2013, because it tells me when I've ordered it.
Right. Okay, good. I will definitely check it out. Next week just got more expensive.
Yeah, you should definitely get that, man. It's solid. Earl Grey's channel is amazing. Cool. I'm gonna have to check out his channel. Everybody keeps saying that.
Is that a YouTube channel or a podcast?
No, it's a YouTube channel.
Hmm.
Do you watch Ethan Van Sciver's channel? I don't, Mr. Johnny Kid. And I don't. I met Ethan Van Sciver. He's a nice guy. We actually have an interesting story. May share it one day. So that's it, guys. Thank you very much for watching. Jess, do you have any words from our sponsor?
I do. In Stock Trades, where I'm going to go reverse now. Fabulous customer service, bomb-proof packaging, loyalty discounts, up to $50. $50 and over gets you free shipping in the United States. Up to 50% off on new releases and old release hardcover and trade paperbacks. And they also have a loyalty. Did I say loyalty discount? They have that too. They have wonderful sales, wonderful damaged items that are not even damaged hardly. Don't take that to the bank because some of them actually are damaged. But I've had wonderful luck with their damaged sales. So keep that in mind. But don't come to me if your book comes with half a cover missing. It's not my fault.
All right. And as for me, you can find me on my channel called Near Mint Condition, where we release new episodes every Thursday, except this week. This week we had a special episode. I had a special episode with Jess, and I explained why we're not doing a regular episode. And I'm going to do a live episode with a friend of mine, to my buddy Rob, my co-host Rob, tomorrow, showing our video game hauls for the month.
Ooh.
See, man, look, it's not just fucking comics with me. I have issues, dude. So thank you guys. And where can they find you, Jess?
They can find me on OmniDog's Vault on YouTube. They can also find me on Instagram, OmniDogs_Vault. So
and the Facebook.
You and the Facebook group. On Facebook, Omnibus Collectors, Comic Swap, and Community, run by Ryleymo and me and a few other mods.
So thank you guys for watching. Everybody have a great night.
Peace and love. Peace and love. Thank you very much.